Imagine having the power to manipulate time itself. Would you be eager to change the course of history? In an unexpected turn of events, a man with a time machine vanished into thin air, only to reappear with a disturbing message. What mysteries did he discover in the depths of time, and what dreadful truths has he brought back with him? Stay till the end of this video to find out. It was mid-1995 when a 21-year-old electrical engineering student started working on building a time machine. If his goal was to make money from its lottery-winning numbers in the future, or just to have access to the realm that man cannot on a whim, we will never know. His name was Mike Markham, who would later be referred to as Madman Mike. He began experimenting with a contraption called Jacob's Ladder. The basic apparatus observes an electric spark jumping back and forth between two parallel wires, appearing to ascend the ladder. Everything was going well when one day he noticed something strange. Mike reported that while fiddling around with the equipment, he noticed something unusual. He saw a circular vortex and decided to test the effect by inserting a metal screw to see what happened. He tossed a sheet metal screw into the energy field, which disappeared for a second before falling to the ground a few feet away. He repeated the experiment several times with the screw, and each time the object disappeared for a second before reappearing. Mike was unsure if the screw was teleporting or possibly sending them a few seconds into the future. He must have overtired this machine, because not long after, the machine overloaded and packed, resulting in dead lasers and fried components. Despite this, Mike knew he was onto something and rebuilt the machine to be 8 feet tall. This required access to more power. However, he encountered a serious problem in his experiments. He required a massive amount of electricity to make it operate, and he knew how to get what he wanted. Initially, the home-built electronic transformer produced 20,000 volts. Mike had to design this transformer, as the usual household voltage in the US is 120-240 volts. Mike utilized wire hangers and lasers to heat the air around Jacob's ladder conductors, preventing air pressure and temperature variations from disrupting the experiment. He decided that if he was going to rebuild the machine, he should use larger transformers to generate higher voltages. Mike's latest machine was an improvement above the prototype that ran at 20,000 volts. This new version was a major improvement. Instead of 20,000 volts, it now operates at a whopping 70,000 volts. The big shocker came when they installed the new machine in the warehouse, which stood an astonishing 15 feet high. This behemoth was pulling a mind-boggling 3 million volts, resulting in incredible pressure. Mike turned on the machine, resulting in a loud crack and a spark, which caused a total blackout. This new equipment had caused a power outage not only in his home, but all over the night. After some tinkering, Mike was able to get the system functioning properly without causing any additional disruptions. Mike tested the contraption by putting things through an energy field or vortex that it had successfully generated. However, this time, the items didn't reappear after a few seconds as planned. During this whole experience, his friends were present. He and his friends kept tossing little objects into the energy field and wondered if a larger object could pass through it. Some of Mike's friends decided to fool around and pushed the living room furniture into the energy vortex, causing it to disappear. Initially, it appeared to be a pleasant and exciting event. However, their mood rapidly changed when they discovered Mike's cat was on the couch at the moment, culminating in a disastrous incident. This unpleasant moment would continue when another disaster happened. A beating on the front door shattered everyone's stunned silence. Mike reluctantly opened the door to discover 8 deputies on the property, each with a search warrant. Mike's neighbors reported strange activities at the house, prompting a police inquiry. The officers rapidly pieced together the facts, linking Mike's initiative to reports from the power company concerning missing equipment. Mike was clearly in trouble, as he faced accusations of stealing transformers and electricity. Any preparations for his experiment would have to be put on hold as he confronted the harsh reality of going to jail. In court, he acknowledged to the judge that he was looking for lottery-winning numbers from the future to fund a research center. If the judge brought that, we would never know. He was sent to prison for some months and 5 years, probation after. But while the police and the states had not been smiling with his curious actions, the populace had gotten wind of his story, and he had moved from just that weird young man to someone many wanted to know about. Following his release from prison, Mike gained popularity on local radio for his stories about the lost screw and his desire to build a time machine. Mike was referred to as a madman on Art Bell's radio show, which frequently discussed paranormal themes, and he took the label. The radio station's website even chronicles the unusual narrative of Madman Mike. Mike revealed to Art and his listeners on air that he didn't have enough money or replacement parts to continue his research. He received non-stop calls for 3 days after sharing his phone number live on the radio. His next time machine project was bigger and stronger than the previous one, thanks to the donations of his listeners. He planned to put the machine to the test by creating an electromagnetic vortex large enough for a human to walk into. A year later, in 1996, he appeared on the radio and stated that he would only take his phone into the time machine. During his 1996 visit to the show, he stated that he was just 30 days away from completing his legal time machine. After achieving what he deemed successful results with the animals, Markham decided to enter the time machine himself. Objects disappeared and then reappeared again, Markham explained. If I remember correctly, I tossed in about 200 objects and animals in total, conducting over 200 tests. In the tape, Markham described how he went into the time machine and claimed to have woken up 800 miles distant 2 years and 2 months later. According to him, electromagnetic waves took their toll, resulting in amnesia. In short, it feels like I got hit with a flash bang. I wake up, and I'm 800 miles east of there 2 years later, Markham explained. However, he disappeared suddenly in 1997 and was never heard from again, putting him at the core of one of the most enduring time travel mysteries. Shortly after his disappearance, a radio listener called in to discuss a peculiar story he had discovered. Police discovered a deceased man on a California beach in the 1930s, according to the listener. The man died after being crushed in a bizarre metal tube, and a suspicious item similar to a mobile phone was discovered near his body. If this was true, then there was a problem, because some years after his disappearance, someone came out to claim back the madman's identity. Mike resurfaced online in 2022, debunking rumors that he died after traveling to the 1930s. According to sources, his local radio station interviewed him for the third time in 2015. In February of that same year, Mike appeared on a blog concerning paranormal phenomena with the moniker Real Madman Markham. The user has been a member of this site since 2015. He wrote, "Rumors are ablazing that I am dead, not well, and had time traveled to 1930-something where I died on a beach in a tube. Whoever posted those pictures of a redhead is also not me. It was some school kid with my name that someone long ago attributed to me. Whatever was found in the 1930s was not me, and I've read that was debunked, but can't find the article." His followers have asked the blog user to prove he's the real Mike Madman, but so far, he's offered no evidence of his true identity. Despite requests from followers, Mike Madman has yet to offer proof of his identity. As a result, it is still unclear whether Mike still exists. Some suspect that Mike simply changed his name and chose to live a quiet life away from the spotlight, while others feel his time machine experiment was a success. While many physicists believe that time travel is impossible, some hypotheses and theories in theoretical physics suggest that it may be conceivable, albeit with significant hurdles. What do you think about the whole thing? Please share them in the comment section below. Also, do not forget to like and share this video with people who want to know more about the happenings of this world.